born? How did you develop it?
It was late. It was the last thing I did, and the easiest thing I did, because that's how I write most naturally. I read and wrote as a young person lots of nonsense poetry, because I grew up with an apocalyptic feeling, which I've not yet shed, that we have, that postmodernism is a sort of empty fart, and that what you do at the end of history and what you do in a time when the novel has done as much as it has done, and yet as a reader and as an acquiring editor, you're looking at the kind of anti-intellectualism of our times, the slightly philistine atmosphere of our times, and you banging the table saying it's 100 years since Joyce. It's 100 years what since Pessoa? I mean, you know, and yet we are still so challenged by anything that's different. And given that you have 26 letters of the alphabet, there are these miraculous forests available to us, and yet we choose to only walk in one tiny part of them. And I thought, if I'm inviting a bird who is not just imaginary, he's also literal, he's also an analyst, he's also a symbolic superstar who's seen the whole swathe of human history ever since human beings have told stories about death. They've gone to crows. He's been in every mythological tradition. He's been a rock star, he's been an omen, he's been a trickster, he's been in these famous poems by Ted Hughes, he's been Brandon Lee, he's been tattoos, he's been heavy metal. What would he say? What would he be interested in, and how would he speak if he's invited into this house? And the first thing is that he would be loved, he would love these children, he would find them fascinating as a science experiment, as an anthropological case study, motherless children, so fascinating to a crow. Second thing is that he would play with language. He would see an opportunity to bring language to it, to pull it apart, break it, and have no dividing line between prose, poetry, very serious philosophy, fart jokes, extreme sentimentality, very serious philosophy, all the time, movement, because he's a crow. He hops and moves, and you know, when you watch crows, I wanted it to be bird-like. When you look at a crow, he would be 1 minute hopping in a pool of vomit, eating a baby bird. And the next minute, the most beautiful, the most intelligent, so intelligent that science can't figure out how intelligent crows are. Way more intelligent than chimps. You know, they're extraordinary animals, so I thought he would not speak in a nice, neat English prose.
It's not fair, is it, Victor? I mean, the easiest for him was the hardest for us. Las partes de